So you're in college and you're trying to obviously do good. What's the best way to study? I can't tell you the best way for you, but I know the best way not to study, and that's cramming. Let's get into it. First of all, cramming is waiting until the day of or the night before the test and trying to cram all the information that you have been given into your brain so you can expend it when you get to the test, in the hopes that you'll do good off the most minimal amount of studying possible. Well, let me tell you why that don't work. Reason number one, I've tried it. Enough said about that. So, to make this simple, I'm gonna break it down into something that you can understand. If we think about cramming, we're just gonna relate it to going on a trip. So every couple weeks in college, you're going on a trip. You get through all these things, all the build up, and boom, your trip's finally here. Well, the trip, in our sense, is the exam. And you're not really ready for it, but here it comes anyway, unlike going on an actual trip. But you have to pack your bag before you go on a trip. I'm assuming most of you have been on a trip before, but you gotta pack your bag. And what do we do a lot of times? We pack at the last minute. Now, packing at the last minute usually leaves us in a rush, and oftentimes, if you've ever done it, you have forgot something. Most of the time you get to where you're going, and you're like, man, I forgot this, or I forgot that, I forgot my toothpaste, or I forgot my toothbrush, or I forgot my chargers, I forgot the sweatpants I wanted to wear, whatever it is. Likewise, just on the same on a test, you try to cram right before it, and boom, you get in there, and you're like, crickets go off. You're like, maybe if I just sit here and look at the wall long enough, it'll come back to me. Well, it's not in your bag. You're not gonna know it, so don't do it. Another thing, when you cramming or packing at the last minute, you oftentimes pack a lot more stuff than you need. So you cramming in information that's not even usable on your test. So now you've been in cramming mode for the last 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever, 6 hours, maybe 24 hours if you're an all-nighter. You get to the test and you look at it and you're like, man, this is nothing like what I've just been looking at. So now you wasted your whole time looking at stuff that's not even usable on the test. Or you packed 30 pairs of pants and you're only there for 2 days. Just because you was in a hurry, in a rush, you really wasn't thinking, you just putting stuff in the bag because I gotta pack and that's what I gotta do. Well, how do we fix that? So, just like when you're packing, if you pack a week ahead, a couple days ahead, I've never met anybody who does this, but it's the best thing to do. And here's what that'll do. If you're packing a week ahead, you pack everything you know you need. You got it all laid out, you wrote out a plan or thought of a plan in your head, packed everything you needed. So you have 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of whatever, 2 shirts, 2 jackets, whatever, 2 pairs of shoes, and you have it all laid out, right? But here's the other thing. If you do it a week ahead, now for this upcoming week, you may miss out on the things that you got in your bag. And it's just like studying for the exam. If you start studying way before, you may miss out on some sleep. You may miss out on some fun time. You may miss out on spending time with your friends, whatever the case may be. But know this, when you get to that exam, you're gonna need it, or you're gonna have it. My bad, wrong word. You're gonna have it. Another thing, if you pack ahead, you don't pack your toothbrush, your toothpaste, all your necessity things that you need day to day. So if you pack ahead, all your stuff's up, you already know it, you're consuming knowledge as you go. And then right before you get to the test, or right before you go on that trip, then you have to throw in your little essential items like your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your retainer, whatever, your deodorant, all that type of stuff. You throw it in right before. And just on the test, instead of having to study and try to cram everything that you own inside of this bag or everything that you've learned inside of your brain, you have what you need, but right before you go and you get some essential some things you need to brush up on, and boom, when you get in there on the test, guess what? You have everything you need packed inside the bag, ready to go. And because of that, you do good. You didn't wait to the last minute to try to cram everything inside your brain, and now you get in there and now you're looking at walls and dreaming of space and what it would be like if you wasn't in college. I'm saying I've been there before, but that's what it is. So instead of cramming, why don't you lay it out? And most of the time, if you go in, there's a syllabus, your teacher has it laid out in the plans of what you're gonna be doing over the course of the 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, until the next exam. And you can just create a study plan like that. Follow along, stay up to date, stay caught up with it, so when you get there, you can put those little essential things in, and boom, on the test, you're ready to have it, rock and roll. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. You have to make yourself do it. It's a discipline. But thank y'all for watching this video. If y'all enjoyed it, like, subscribe. There should be a subscribe button and another video. If you enjoy these types of videos, hit it, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.